So let's start. So now we'll see something which is called the organizer. I already showed you a little bit of it, but now we'll talk about it. So the organizer is the other icon. You have two icons. One of them is Emos IX cut and the other one is Emos organizer. So the organizer, when you open the other icon, you see this here. So the most important tab you have is your order manager, which is with all of your orders. And you see here you have some folders, and these folders are called projects. So inside one project you can have many projects and many different orders. So if I want to create new project, I have to click right here, new project, then type the name of the project, then it will appear here. Then I can get these orders and drag and drop them there. Okay, and if I
Hôm nay là mình bắt đầu học tìm hiểu thêm về cái phần Amos Organizer, nhưng mà tại cái này mới nên là mọi người chú ý tập trung để sau này mình sử dụng cho dễ ha.
And then, for example, for each and every one of these orders, if I have some articles in it, I can click on it, and then I have contents, and if I click twice on this one, I'll see how many articles I have, what's the position, what's the name, description, quantity, how much it cost, the original cost, is there any discount. This is, you can specify by, you see I can specify here, let's say 200, and it will be exactly 200 the price. Otherwise this will calculate the materials, surfaces, edges, connectors and everything else and give you the final price. So if you don't want to get this price with the with the materials, surfaces, edges, fittings and everything else, but you want just final price to put here, you can put final price anything you want. And then at the end you have a VAT, which you can put whatever you want here. And I don't know how much is in Vietnam. How much is VAT in Vietnam?
10%.
10? Yeah, so we put 10% here, and I will see. I'll do 10% for default for yours later. So you have some tax, which is according to this price, and then you have the final price. Then here's the head data. The head data is from the order. Remember when we save the order, we can put all of these fields here, and it's important to have them, otherwise you'll not have anything in the reports. Then you have customer data, and here I have some default customer, but if you want different customer, you can click either on the red button here and create something. You just rename just rename and just type something, and then you just save and just rename. And save, and you can add this customer to the order. Then here we're not talking about this one. dashboard is what you did last time with this order. Do you have any reports? If you use any reports, they will be here, and you can check. And so pretty much that's it. This is like a summary of the order, and you can add new cabinets. For example, if you click add new article. Okay. What's this? This order is in edit mode. Okay. So because you can add, if you have a catalog with cabinets, you can add more cabinets here. So you just click plus and then plus. Hello. You click plus again, and then you add more cabinets. Now you have that many cabinets here. And if you save the order like this, you can send it for production that way with many articles. If you don't want some of them, you can just click delete order line, and you just delete some of the cabinets without going to the cut part. So this is, you just modify your orders without going to the cut part, right? Without going here. So here you make your cabinets, you make the design and everything. You can create new order here, and then if you, for example, the customer changed their mind, they want something else, they don't want, for example, this article, you can just delete it and save it again. And you can get reports from here. You can get reports, and you can get all of the reports that I showed you yesterday. You can get from here. You can recalculate the price. You can get information for the sold from here. If you click process data transfer, it will get for example, an Excel file for the sold. So you can import it in the optimization software and use it. And you can also open it in CAT. And if I click open in CAT, I can just go here and it will be opened. But since I deleted my cabinet, I don't see it anymore. Okay. And so pretty much this is for the order manager. You can delete order from here, or you can create new one and use new articles there. Output batches, we don't have that, and add to production, you don't have that as well. Production manager, do you have this field? You shouldn't have that field. Yeah, so you don't have that field. Do you have that field?
Hình như cho em hỏi cái phần order line á, trong cái phần số lượng á, mình thay đổi đó thì xuất chương trình nó đã thay đổi.
I have to check.
Cái quyền á, cái số lượng ở trong phần order line.
Can you open the online window?
Mình thay đổi số lượng ở trong cái module đó từ 1 thành 10 rồi từ 1 thành 0 được không? Thì xuất chương trình nó có hiểu như vậy.
Ở trong này á. So here, so if we change the quantity in here, when we export the program, we will understand.
Will it what?
Will the software understand?
Yeah, if you put 10, it will recalculate and you will have different price and
Chi tiết cách là nó nhận 10 cái hay là gì nhận trên giá là người sản phẩm.
So that means that the machine will also understand that we're gonna cut 10 pieces.
Yes.
Đúng rồi.
Hay là theo
Yeah. Nó,
Yes, but you have to, after you refresh, you have to. Okay.
anh từ từ nghe nó hết nè, từ từ.
So after you refresh with more parts, you have to use process data transfer to, because otherwise, if you don't, you will not have that many parts that you need. You have just for one article instead of 10, right? So you need to make sure after you change something here, you click process data transfer, and actually you can just and if it's different article, then you should also like save the order with the new programs for the machines.
Sau khi mà thay đổi xong anh nhớ nhấn cái nút mà process data transfer nha, thì nó mới áp dụng cái thay đổi đó của anh.
So you have to save as here and then go to generate and process data and okay. Yes.
Ok chưa? Và sau khi lưu thay đổi là phải lưu lại như vậy.
Alright, also you have the element manager here, which is completely synchronized with the other one. The one in the cut part and the one in the organizer, they're completely synchronized, which means that if I do something here, let's say I create a new part definition, and I go here and I say this is, yeah, let's go like this, and I save. So I save it here, but it actually I can use it right away inside the cut part.
Ý anh nói là hai cái phần mềm này sẽ tự đồng bộ hóa với nhau á. Ví dụ như lúc nãy anh có tạo một cái phần path definition trong cái organizer, thì nó sẽ tự động đồng bộ hóa vào cái phần mềm bên iMoss này luôn, là mình có thể sử dụng trực tiếp bên này được luôn. Thế mình hiểu mà.
If you don't see it, you have to click refresh.
Là hai cái phần mềm này nè, một cái là iMoss organizer, một cái là iMoss, đúng không? Thì nó sẽ đồng bộ hóa với nhau, có nghĩa là bên này có gì bên kia cũng sẽ có cái đó. Đồng bộ hóa dữ liệu anh.
Alright. Then what is the integration? Okay, so from integration you can import and export orders, not only orders but everything. You can, for example, if I click export, I can pick what I want to export. I can pick, for example, export the order, or I can pick export just construction principle, or I can export just part definition, or I can export anything I want. Anything I have in the database, I can export. Okay?
Cái này là để mình xuất dữ liệu ra, mà là bất cứ dữ liệu mình có trong cơ sở dữ liệu mình có thể xuất ra được hết.
So this is the export. I click right here, create export medium, and I pick where to place it. So let's say I place on the desktop. So I click save. It starts exporting and zipping, and then at the end it will say export finished. The export was finished. Do you want to open the export directory now? So if you click just OK and you save the export in the default area, okay. But if for example for me it's on the desktop, so even if I say yes, it will transfer me to library import export zip. So I have to go to the desktop, right?
Khi mà mọi người lưu xong nó sẽ hỏi mình là có muốn đến cái thư mục vừa lưu hay không á, mình bấm yes thì nó sẽ động chuyển đến thư mục mà mình vừa lưu file đó vừa xuất ra.
Say it's this one here, and then if I want to import it, let's say I'm sending you an order or a cabinet or something and you want to use it. So I will export it and then send it to you, and then you go to the organizer, you go to integration, import, you click open import medium, then you go to the file where you save that zip file. So you click on it, you say open, it will start reading the record set, and then if you have something like this with green, which means that it's already in your database. So this thing here, you want to show all of them, but you don't want to have identical. The best way is to have new and different, because otherwise you can make mistake and save something that you can overwrite something and then there's no going back. So don't check identical, use new and different, and new and different is okay. So
trong lúc đó cái info identical mình đừng chọn nha mọi người, mình chỉ nên chọn hai mục kia thôi.
So now it's fine, and then you see now when I have new and different, everything is with green because I do have all of these components in my database. So if I want to import anyway something, I can just click on it and import it, and it will override the existing one. So let's say I click import and it starts importing, and then done. When it stops, you're done. And if you have something, if you have imported something, if you go to the order manager, for example, you will have something with import here. So if you import order or whatever you import, you go to that area. For example, if it's order, you go to order, you click import, and somewhere here will be your new imported order. Or if you, for example, imported anything else, it will be also, for example, if I imported top shelf, it will be in top shelves, import, and then here. Okay. After import, you have a folder which is created with the name of import, and you can find the newly imported elements there. Okay.
Những cái phần mà mình vừa nhập vào nó sẽ nằm trong cái thư mục mà nó vừa mở ra, nhưng mà cái thư mục import này.
And then what else do I have in integration? What is archive? If you have, for example, many orders, and you don't want to, for example, your database is very big and you want to just free some space, and you don't want your database to be very big because it's going to work very slow. So if it is that the case, then you can how to archive. You see, I have two archives here, which means that these orders, I don't have them in my database and I cannot use them. I can use them only if I click on them and click restore. Then I'll get them restored into the system and use them. But how to archive them? I go to order and let's say pick this, and I say what's the one here? Archive. Say archive and say yes, and now it will archive the order, delete the order, so I will no longer have it here.
Thì cái phần archive này là để mình, trong cái trường hợp mà cơ sở dữ liệu của mình nó đã bị quá đầy ở mọi người, thì mình sẽ xóa, nó sẽ tự động lưu cái phần mà đã xóa của thư mục này. Trong trường hợp mà mình muốn hồi phục lại á, thì mình có thể nhấn restore để sử dụng lại cái mà mình đã xóa. Cái mục đích chính của cái thư mục archive này là achieve right?
Archive. Achieve what?
I remember that was archive.
It's an archive, and it just like if for example zip a folder, you archive it.
Mấy bên là skill
Yeah, for some reason it takes some time, but should be ready soon. Maybe I open it now.
Where you buy the coffee?
From the hotel.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. The coffee at the first right?
Yeah. There's no other coffee anyway, so. You know, there might be coffee shops around, but I just don't want to walk around and. Yeah, so it's done. It was done. So you see now it's not anymore here. So where is it? It's in integration and show archive. When you click refresh, it will be here. So if I want to get it back, because right now it's not here, I cannot use it. If I click integration, pick here that one and click restore, then it will restore it and I can use it. So now it's not anymore here and it is inside the order manager. Where is it? Import here in the import. Okay, I can just drag and drop it here and okay. These things right here, I just have all the functions. You shouldn't have all the functions, so everything is unlocked for me. You probably don't have this one, this one, this one. Yeah, so you don't have it. So you don't have these ones, so I'm not talking about them. And here in the system, you can create users, and you can pick, for example, if I want new user, I can create one. I can click create user and use some name. Then I use, is it going to Windows authentication or SQL authentication? And if it's SQL authentication, you have to specify the password, right? And then here you pick what is this user, what are the user rights. So either administrator is the higher level, which can do whatever he wants. Then super main user is the one that, well, if you want to read about them, they're right here. And it's like the higher priority is administrator, and then the user is the lowest, which one, that one cannot do almost anything. So if you press F1, if you press F1 here, if you click somewhere inside and press F1, you get the help that looks like this. And here, if you click access right, these are the rights, and you can pick whatever you want for yourself, for the users.
Thì cái phần mà anh vừa nói là về cái phần tạo tên đăng nhập đó mọi người. Thì trong cái phần này nó có các mục giống như là cách để xác nhận, rồi cũng như là tên đăng nhập, mật khẩu, với lại phân quyền cho tên đăng nhập. Thì cái thứ tự phân quyền cho tên đăng nhập nó sẽ giảm dần từ trên xuống dưới. Từ cái thứ tự đầu tiên là nó có nhiều cái quyền truy cập nhất cho tới cái cuối cùng, thì mình có thể nhấn vào bất kỳ cái ô nào trong cái khung đó, sau mình nhấn F1 để chuyển đến cái bảng hướng dẫn này nha mọi người, để mình tham khảo thêm các cái thông tin khác á.
So the difference between all of them and the administrator is the administrator can operate with variables, and the other ones cannot operate with variables, which means that they can these ones, they cannot create variables, and they can use just the ones that are set. They cannot create more.
Như đây chỉ có cái phần quyền đầu tiên administrator là nó có thể tạo với là sử dụng biến, còn ở sau cái thứ hai, cái thứ ba thì nó chỉ có thể sử dụng cái đã tạo sẵn của administrator, chứ không thể tự tạo cái mới được. Đó là một trong ví dụ về những cái mình gọi là phân quyền trong hệ thống đó mọi người.
And but if you're an administrator, you should be very careful, and when you're setting up your database, you should have like the same naming, otherwise it will be a mess.
Thì mình lưu ý là khi đặt tên là mình nên đặt tên nó chính xác nha mọi người, chứ không là nó sẽ bị dễ bị lỗi.
And yeah, otherwise you could be administrators, but make sure that you don't like overwrite everything that you're doing right now, because right now you're just overwriting everything, and I'm just telling you to write your name, your initials at the end, but you still have like overwritten a lot of things. So you should know that if you should know and get some naming of the construction principle, part definitions, articles, and so on. Okay, so don't like, because when you start naming in your way and I'm naming in my way, then at the end nobody understands what's in the database. So you should have a document that says, when we have this case, this construction, we use that naming. When we have the other construction, we use different naming, and so on. So you should, because you're a lot of people, if all of you work with the system, you need to make sure that you use the same naming.
Và nói là khi mà mình sử dụng hệ thống đặt tên á, thì mình nên có một cái quy ước trước, để trong trường hợp nhiều người mỗi người có một cách đặt tên khác nhau thì nó sẽ dễ khiến cho cái hệ thống dữ liệu của mình nó bị rối đó mọi người. Đó, cho nên là mình sẽ có một cái quy ước chung khi mà mình sử dụng đặt tên là đối với mỗi trường hợp như thế nào.
Okay, so it's good. I'm repeating myself because it's important. So for what is here, group permission, you can have a group of users that use some of these permissions here, some of these functions. You can say this group is using these ones. You have the database here, and you can back up your database from here and restore database, and you can do this from the SQL manager. From the SQL Management Studio, you can do the same thing. I don't know if you're familiar, but
cái này là backup để sao lưu cái sự dữ liệu lại, sao lưu hoặc là phục hồi.
You pick where you place it. You say okay, next, and then If you want to restore it, you pick the same place and you name the database. The database there. So let's say this one, okay. Yeah, because I do have it here. Okay, and then I say libraries. Backup. Database exists, please change the. So if I delete that, then I usually don't work with this one. I usually just go to the SQL Management Studio and back it up there and restore it. But yeah, so here it is. You just have to name. If it's the same, you can delete the database and then use it. If you restore with different name, you pick the file, the back file from whatever you save it, and then here you just have to. For example, I name it 2, and here I have to name 2 and 2, and then next. I need to restore it with different name. But if I want this one like gone, I can. I mean, I have to delete it from the SQL Management Studio. I can go right here, SQL Management Studio, and for example, I don't want this one anymore. The password is emos. I go to databases. I want this one to be gone. So just go delete. Okay. But before you have backup, don't delete it, right? You should have a backup first.
Trước khi mình xóa cái đó thì mình nên backup nó trước rồi mọi người. Mình sẽ lưu nó trước để có trường hợp bị lỗi
Yeah,
thì
my
mình
bad.
thực
So
lại.
I have to task take offline. You should take it offline first, and then if you want to delete it, you can find the file deleted, or you can just restore it. Yeah, let's wait a little bit, and then you can, for example, you see now here I can see what I have been installing here. So from iPhone I've been installing these things, these packages. So I have some here. The iPhone was this one here that I mentioned before, I showed you before, and you just need to get the password and the username for it so you can download the packages from the suppliers. Yeah, so just download like I show you, and if you did the database you can see what you have installed already, but it's enough one of you to install them, and then okay, so it's enough one of you to install them. You don't have to install them on every computer. It's for the whole database. So if one of you download it, the rest can just use it.
Khi mà mình tạo á, không nhất thiết là ai cũng phải tạo, mọi người chỉ cần một máy tạo là tất cả máy khác đều có thể dùng được.
If one of you install, the other ones can just use. So don't install many times. One is enough. And if you're not sure what do you have, you can check here.
Thì để kiểm tra là mình đang có cơ dữ liệu gì á, thì mọi người có thể vào trong cái thư mục mình đăng vào để mình kiểm tra những cái gói dữ liệu mình đã cài đặt trong này.
Alright, so this one is offline now. Can delete it now. So I deleted it. I have to take it offline, then delete, and then I can do it from here as well. But since I show you already from the organizer, I think it's easier. I can go restore database, and I pick from here the. Oh, I already restored. Yeah. Wait. Yeah. So if it was. I restored it already, so that's why I don't have it. But let's say I have this one here, and I just open and say okay, 1 second. So restore, pick the file, it is here, and then say open. And now you don't have to rename because it's already you want it with the same name. So I say next, and then it will restore it, and now it's here. So if you have a backup, and let's say you have a backup from last week, you did something wrong this week, you want to restore it, that's how you do it. So you go to the SQL Management Studio, you detach. Well, first of all, you need to have the backup. Then you go to the SQL Management Studio, you detach it like we did. Detach one of them, like the one that you need, and then delete, and then you go restore. But you need to have the backup, the back file there. Otherwise, it's not good. Yeah. So these are the steps.
Mấy cái này mọi người hiểu không ạ?
There are also different steps.
Trong cái trường hợp mà mình muốn chắc ăn á, thì mình có thể lưu sẵn một cái backup sẵn một cơ sở dữ liệu, trong trường hợp mà có gì đó sai sót á, thì mình phục hồi lại nó sẽ dễ hơn là mình phải chỉnh sửa này nọ nhiều á mọi người. Thì cái phần này ai có hỏi không ạ?
Hay là backup cho đơn hàng hay là backup cho
nguyên cơ sở dữ liệu đúng không ạ?
Nguyên cơ sở dữ liệu.
Dạ. Yes, it is backup is for separate article of the whole database.
That was from the database.
Yeah, I told him.
Okay, and then here in Dongo, okay, here in Dongo you have what modules you have, and also, for example, you can see the expiration date here for yours, and don't do anything, but for example, if maybe around like 2 weeks prior this date, you have a message that will say your license will expire soon, please update, something like this. Okay, so you have to come here in the organizer, one of you, okay, one of you, not all of you. You figure out who is going to do this, because you need to do this once. So then you go here and you say license update 2. You click here. Don't do this. Tell them to not do the same as me, because tell them don't do this right now. Just watch.
Ok. Mọi người riêng cái phần mà anh đang làm mọi người đừng có bắt chước theo nha, mình chỉ xem cái ảnh làm thôi.
Ok, anh cứ giải thích.
Alright, so you pick the license update 2, then you click on that. You have only one, so no problem. And then you click here, create C to V. So when you click create C to V, you get a file which is with extension C to V. Then this file, you send it to us, you send it to Imus, and then we'll update your license and send you another file which is with extension V to C. Then you go again here, but then you say import V to C. You click here, then you pick the file and say OK, and that's it. That's it, done. Okay? And it's very fast to do that. But maybe you wait like few days to get the license. So once you get the message that your license will expire, please send the C2V to us as soon as possible so you can keep working during that, no problem. But we'll update it and send it to you.
Thì cái phần này á, khi nó có một cái ngày gọi là ngày giới hạn á, ngày hết hạn đó mọi người. Khi sắp tới ngày cách đó khoảng vài hôm nó sẽ thông báo cho mình một cái tin nhắn là cái hạn sử dụng này nó đã sắp hết, mình có muốn tiếp tục hay không. Đó thì mình thực hiện cái bước ngoặt đó, nó sẽ tự động update cái nó tải lên cái file của mình, sau đó là họ sẽ cập nhật cái giấy phép này, license giấy phép để mình tiếp tục sử dụng.
Okay.
Cái đó nó áp dụng cho đơn hàng hay là áp dụng cho hệ thống chẳng hạn?
Cái hệ thống mà. So this is for the system, right? The expiration date for the system.
Yes, actually it's for the this green thing here that they have on the server. Theirs is I think red. I'm not sure.
Đó là cái key mà anh đang có anh.
To use the system, you need that to be up to date. Because, for example, if I try to use it on 16th of December, it's not going to work, right? All right. So range of numbers is just the type of the date format, which is
Cái này mình dùng để thiết lập cái format của ngày ấy.
You can change it if you want, whatever, it doesn't matter. This is and import configuration. Do you have that? Usually use the default one and it's okay. Don't touch anything here. So any questions about the organizer, something that they need to know, something that they didn't understand though?
Chứ mà organizer mình có muốn hỏi gì không ạ?
You don't need to touch that. What's he's asking? Something that I haven't explained.
Oh, he thought that. He asked that. Can you show him how to import the hardware and how to?
Let's just show him. Look, you import the hardware from here, not from here. You don't import anything here. You import from this button here. I already show you with the whole order.
Integration chứ không phải là trong phần system đâu.
You import. What does he mean exactly? I don't get it. He wants to import catalogs or he wants
Ý
to
anh muốn nói
import.
đây là anh muốn import cái catalog của sản phẩm của nó hay sao?
What?
So he asked if we can import right here. So if it's possible, we can do here also. That's what he means.
So what to import here also?
Like the hardware catalog. That's what he means. So
No.
he just asked if we can import from that window also.
No, wait. Okay. You import from that window if somebody sends you a file, which is export. You cannot import without having a file, right? If you want to import from here, somebody needs to send you something to import it. Okay?
Thì anh nói là để nhập cái đó thì bên kia nó sẽ có thường có một cái file xuất, là bên kia sẽ xuất một cái file đúng không? Thì mình sẽ lấy cái file đó mình nhập trong hệ thống này. Thì cái nguyên tắc làm việc là như vậy.
So for example, I exported the order, I send it to him. He goes here into import integration center. He goes to import. He clicks open import medium, picks the order, and import it. That's the way. If somebody, that's the way to use this import. And then the other one, which is not, the other one is to download the catalogs.
So
It's
how
from
about in the system we have import, right? In the system. Right? Import configuration. We have hardware right here. So what's this for?
This is a configuration that you want to say, like ignore this field. So you say, okay, I don't want to import this. So if you don't want to import this, you can say don't import that,
Cái này
right?
có
So
nghĩa
this
là
is just filtering what to import and what not to import.
thì cái này chỉ là cái thiết lập thông số cho cái phần nhập á anh. Là khi mà nhập á, anh ví dụ như anh muốn bỏ cái gì, anh không muốn nhập cái đó vô á, thì anh sẽ thiết lập trong này. Nhưng mà thường thì anh nói mình trong này sẽ để mặc định,
Không có làm gì bên này.
không được như cái này.
This is just, yeah, so usually you don't need that as long as you have new and different, you're fine. Okay, you don't need to filter.
Thì nó mình chỉ cần chọn hai cái mục như anh nói là ok, không cần chọn.
Maybe they can start with just new.
Mình có thể thử với lại phần new trước.
So it's, but it's okay. New and different is okay. But the other one which he's asking about is different. He's asking about this one here. So this one here, you just, huh?
Yeah, he knew about this already. He just wanted to ask because he saw the
He
import.
saw something and
Yeah, because he saw import, that's why he asked. That's all.
okay, fine. All right. So another thing here. There's this help button here. Help. You can click F1 anywhere here, or you can go help, and if you click on the help, you will have this menu to this website to appear, and then you can read a lot of things that they're very interesting. So you should check this.
Trong cái phần help của mọi người là phần giúp đỡ thì nó sẽ có khá là nhiều thông tin bổ ích để mình tham khảo, thì mọi người có thể nhấp vào để tìm hiểu thêm.
Can you press F1?
Hoặc là mình có thể nhấp F1 bất kỳ chỗ nào ở bên ngoài.
Yeah, okay, fine. So yours is a little bit different. Yours is the new one, mine is the old one. But it's the same thing. Go on full screen. Full screen.
Những F1 là những ở trong cái chữ.
Full screen. Click here. No, here. Click. Click here. Oh, wait. And you see this here? You can read about all these topics here, okay? So you have a lot of information. You can read for weeks. Not weeks, but yeah, weeks. Let's say you can read for weeks. Yeah, so you can go there and see. If you don't understand something, don't remember, you can also check that help. It's very useful.
Thì cái này nó khá là bổ ích mọi người trong trường hợp mình quên hay là muốn tìm hiểu thêm gì đó, thì mình có thể truy cập vào đây để đọc thêm các thông tin.
Okay.
Rồi, hôm nay ok chưa?
Ok.
Alright, so if we have let's say one order, we have one order and this is our order, and we want to show the customer how their kitchen will look like, let's say in this case. So we want to show them and see like in real we won't show them a render. Okay, it's like, yeah, so how to do that render is, let's say I already set up the kitchen, so I don't want to set it up from the beginning, so you know how to do this already. I have one room. The room has windows and doors and everything that one room has. Plus it has some cameras here. So how did I set up the cameras? See this camera here? It's pointing to this area. So let's say we set up another one because this one is not it's not the one that we need. So we go to presentation, we click create camera, and then this camera will appear. Then we need to pick a point where we want to place this camera. You can just click anywhere you want, it doesn't matter. Well, if you want it to be on certain distance, what I would do is I would just get a polyline. One second, I just want to do something here. Okay, so if I wanted, I'm just going to get a polyline, and then let's say from here to here, I want it somewhere like this, so I can snap the camera there. So I can click here and just snap it there, and then I point to somewhere here and click, and then exit. So now I have the camera and I want to change the properties. So I click on the camera with left click. This is the preview right here. So you see it's very low, so it's like under the table, under the chairs. I don't want it to be like this, so after I select it like that, I can right click and pick properties, and then I can name the camera any name I want. Then this is the position of the camera, so this is, I can change the position here. And here you see the Z is the elevation of the camera, so I can say this is on 1500, enter, and if I change it, this view changes as well. Okay, this target is where the camera points. Where's the, you see this, do you see this point here? This point is where's where's the center of the camera looking at? So it's looking at here, right? And
cái đó là cái đường trung tâm của camera mà trong cái góc nhìn của camera.
And so these are the properties, I can change them. Target in Y, see here, where is Y? That way. So if I say, let's say 2000, see this will change in real time. So it was 3000 something. And target Z is, I can change that as well. Maybe like And then this field of view, lens length and field of view are connected. So lens length and field of view are how do I see this picture. For example, if the lens length is, let's say, less than 45, 40, something like this, let's say it's 30, you'll see that it becomes like wide angle. So if the lens is smaller, the field of view is getting bigger, and which means that I'll have something like a fisheye or something that I can. This is like the human eye cannot see that thing, right? So usually what is the best is to use, that's 40 to 45 is the best, because you can see the natural view of the human eye.
Cái này là độ rộng góc nhìn đó mọi người. Trong cái số nó càng nhỏ thì góc nhìn nó sẽ càng rộng.
But you can use smaller, but it's just not going to look realistic. Well, it's up to you. So then this one, when I change that, lens of view change, and when I change lens of view, field of lens length, field of view changes. So it's let's say if I go 80, it will be very, very narrow. So this is also not realistic. Okay, so after I'm done with these settings, I just close here. And then what I do is, I don't need this actually, I don't need this anymore. I'll just close it. What I need to do now is, I need to go into this camera view. So here I have the views. Let's say I'm in top view right now. I can have left, right, back, and so on. But I need to pick this one here. So if I pick that one with the camera, I see this. So once you get to the camera view, you can go to render here, adjust exposure. You have to turn the environment on, and then these are different image-based lighting. So it's usually you can use any of these, it's okay. And then you see the background is different. So if you have windows, you see this this building here, and the rotation is where the sun will come from. So if I say, for example, -45, see the image changes, and also the sun is like the body which makes the light. So it's like you have like this, let's say it's a sun, so you control where the sun is, let's say.
Cái này mình điều khiển bóng mặt trời mọi người. Cái này thì cái hướng chiếu của mặt trời vào trong cái chi tiết của mình.
For these ones are different. So the exposure here is, if I go, let's say, less, it will be brighter. You can control from here as well. Yeah, okay, so let's say around 10 is okay. Oh, not 100, 10. And this is white balance, which is, if it's like, it's between the white balance of the light. Is it cool light or warm light? Where one of them is blue, the other one is yellowish. So you can like check this in Google, but you probably know that. So this is the white balance, this is the exposure. The exposure is responsible for how bright the image will be, and the white balance is responsible for the color of the white, which in one case will be blue, more blue, and the other one will be more yellow. So Okay. After this, I want to go up here, and I have this low, medium, high, coffee break quality, lunch quality, overnight quality, and so on. But these ones, I can use them, but I can make my own. So I click manage render presets, and what I will be able to do is, first of all, I recommend you using only render and window. Then render size, you can pick any size you want. This current preset, let's say I use high for that, and I change this to I can check here create copy, and I can name it. This is a description. I can put, let's say, 2 minutes. It's just saving the template. 2 minutes render, and this is the duration, so how much time it will take. Until satisfactory is until I stop it, so it will just continue and keep going. Then render by level, I have 100 levels, and I can use only some of them if I want to. In this case, layer by layer, the image, the maximum will be 100, and you can pick what you want, which level. Render by time, I can see how much time I want to render, and then the render will stop. Here the render accuracy, I recommend using high all the time. So high is the best, and you should use that one.
Cái một cuối thì mình nên chọn hai, lúc nào cũng nên giữ nguyên cái để nó có cái chất lượng tốt.
So after I'm done, I can either click this one here, the teapot, or I can just close and then use that one. So they're doing the same thing. This one and this one doing the same thing. But since I'm doing this for the first time here, I can click here and check how it looks. But if not, if I just close, then I have to use this button here. So it doesn't matter which one you use. Okay? So I click here, and then we wait. So usually, because it's so now this window will appear, and then the image will appear soon. There's like here you can save, you can and here is like the time that is spent. Okay, so it will take some time because I have. Alright, so now it starts, and then you can see how much percentage of the image is being rendered for these 2 minutes. And
Các bạn xong rồi hả? Con nên đặt thêm gì?
right, and if I want to stop it, I click right here, cancel render. So This is for 1 minute. Do you see where the sun is coming from? It's coming from here. So I have some shades here.
Đó thì mọi người nhìn lên hình đó, tại cái mình có chỉnh gương ánh sáng cho nên là bây giờ mình thấy là nó sẽ đổ bóng theo cái hướng mà anh chọn.
And for example, let's say I want to stop, okay? If you stop, very important, click right here when you stop. Because so if you click here, it will continue. Okay, fine. And then if I want to save this picture, I click here. I click how do I want to have, what kind of format, and then I can save it anywhere. Okay, and then after I save the image, I have it here. I can just open it. All right. Okay. Okay.